Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a story that unfolds on the grand stage of tennis, a tale of triumph, controversy, and redemption. Today, we delve deep into the dramatic narrative of Simona Halep's 4-year drug ban, a startling outcome that gripped the world of sports and left fans in disbelief. Our journey begins with the remarkable ascent of Simona Halep, a young tennis prodigy from Constanta, Romania. Her story is one of raw talent, ceaseless dedication, and a fierce determination to reach the pinnacle of tennis. Born in Constanta, Romania, Simona displayed early signs of greatness. Her journey through junior tennis and into the professional circuit was marked by resilience and an unmatched work ethic. From humble beginnings, Simona climbed the ranks, earning her place among the tennis elite. Her crowning achievement came in 2018 when she secured her first Grand Slam title at the French Open. The world watched in awe as this rising star illuminated the tennis scene. But as Simona Halep's star continued to shine, a storm was brewing in the shadows. In a shocking twist of fate, allegations of doping began to surface, casting a dark cloud over her career. In 2022, the International Tennis Federation, ITF, dropped a bombshell. Simona Halep was facing a 4-year suspension for a doping violation. The tennis world was left stunned, and fans found themselves desperate for answers. In a statement shared on his Instagram, Darren Cahill, the Australian coach renowned for his work with tennis greats like Andy Murray and Jannik Sinner, expressed his deep concerns about the handling of Simona Halep's case. He pointed out that the details of this complex case will eventually come to light, but regardless of the outcome, he had serious reservations about how the situation had been managed by the ITF and ITIA. Mr. Cahill emphasized that while he respected the importance of rigorous testing programs and a fair process in sports, the way this case has unfolded has been far from fair. He strongly asserted that Simona deserves the right to resume her career and move forward with her life. But currently, she finds herself in a frustrating limbo where neither of these options is available to her. Furthermore, Cahill called upon the Women's Tennis Association, WTA, its board, and the Player Council to take proactive measures in ensuring that athletes are better protected in situations like these. He emphasized the need for players to have the necessary support and rights to a more expeditious resolution in such cases, whereas the current system provides them with none. As the storm raged on, Simona Halep and her legal team embarked on a grueling battle to clear her name. They argued that the banned substance found in her system was a result of a contaminated supplement, a revelation that raised eyebrows. Months passed, and the world watched as the legal drama unfolded. With mounting evidence and compelling arguments, Simona's legal team fought tirelessly to present her innocence before the tribunal. Finally, after months of legal battles and anticipation, the moment of truth arrived. The tennis world held its collective breath as the ITF handed down its verdict. The ITF ruled against Simona Halep, rejecting the contamination defense. Her 4-year ban was imposed. Simona's reputation had been tarnished, and she faced an uphill battle to rebuild trust and admiration. The independent tribunal that banned Simona Halep for 4 years for doping had strong grounds for suspicion that the Romanian was also blood doping at last year's Wimbledon, its newly published 125-page decision reveals. However, it could not be comfortably satisfied that was the case, as the 31-year-old did not undergo any independent blood testing between April and September 2022. On Tuesday, the former world number 1 was found to have intentionally taken the banned blood doping agent roxadustat after a test at the 2022 US Open in August. Separately, an expert panel also found that Halep showed striking abnormalities in her athlete biological passport after an analysis of 51 of her blood samples was concluded. Interestingly, the full decision, released last Thursday, reveals that the International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, pushed for a more severe punishment and believed that she had blood doped from at least March 2022 in preparation for Wimbledon and the US Open that year. In response, the panel stated, "A key allegation by the ITIA on aggravating circumstances is that the player must have been using one prohibited substance or prohibited method from March 2022 at the latest." The full decision into Halep's case also states that the panel believed it was not realistically possible that the levels of roxadustat in her body could have come from a keto MCT supplement, as the Romanian strenuously had alleged from the outset. While accepting that the supplement may have been tainted, something that experts disagreed over, it said that the levels in her body meant that she must have ingested roxadustat from another source that was never identified. As part of the case, a woman of a similar height and stature was given the same amount of keto MCT as Halep before her positive test. Shockingly, the control study found that the values of the banned drug in Halep's urine test were between 46 and 85 times higher than in the highest value of the volunteer's urine. One expert told the tribunal that Halep would have needed to take between 900 and 5,000 times the recommended serving size of keto MCT to produce the estimated concentrations of roxadustat in her sample, based on the player's explanation and what was known about the metabolism of the drug. He did not consider that plausible or in line with what the player says she ingested, the report states. Essentially, the panel member was declaring that Halep's account had been debunked by the scientific evidence. Roxadustat is used medically to treat anemia, an iron deficiency which can cause fatigue. The drug increases both the number of red blood cells and the amount of hemoglobin, a protein that carries oxygen in your body, found in those cells. And having more oxygen in your body helps improve endurance and recovery. She was given a provisional suspension when the failed test was announced in October 2022. Halep said she had ingested roxadustat unknowingly, arguing it was caused by contamination of a collagen supplement. In May this year, a second charge was added after irregularities were found in her Athlete Biological Passport (ABP). The ABP program collects and compares biological data to spot discrepancies in an athlete's blood over time that suggest possible doping. Halep's defense suggested the irregularities spotted were caused by factors, including blood loss during an operation and periods when she was not training. The roxadustat charges. The report concluded the collagen supplement taken by Halep, called keto MCT, was contaminated with roxadustat on the balance of probability. However, it also concluded there was another source of roxadustat in the sample provided by Halep at the US Open on the 29th of August last year. If Halep did use contaminated keto MCT, as she describes, it could not have been the sole source of the roxadustat detected, the report said. Halep has not been able to identify the source of the other roxadustat, the ABP charge. The report said 3 experts had a high degree of confidence. There was not an innocent explanation for the irregularities in Halep's Athlete's Biological Passport (ABP) profile. The 3 experts, Dr. Jacob Morkeberg, Dr. Laura Garvican-Lewis, and Professor Giuseppe Donofrio, assessed the results and each believed there was likely doping. Halep's defense, including blood loss during surgery and spells when she was inactive, was found not to be plausible. The expert panel had a strong opinion the explanations provided by Halep could not individually or collectively account for the abnormalities. They concluded the possibility of blood manipulation was high, adding it was likely to be a prohibited method. The International Tennis Integrity Agency, ITIA, which is responsible for testing within the sport, asked for a 6-year ban because of what they argued were aggravating circumstances, believing Halep's doping was repetitive and sophisticated. It also believed she must have been using a prohibited substance or prohibited method from March 2022 at the latest. The ITIA suggested Halep was blood doping in order to boost her performance at Wimbledon and the US Open last year. The ITIA also asked for her results to be disqualified from the 8th of March 2022 through to her provisional suspension on the 7th of October 2022. The report found it was not comfortably satisfied that Halep had been doping from March, even though there were strong grounds for suspicion. No samples of Halep's ABP were collected between March and August last year. All of Halep's results from the US Open in 2022, where she played her last bit of arbitration for sport. If she is to avoid a 4-year ban from tennis, she has to prove on the balance of probability that her use of roxadustat from another source was not intentional. Halep, who has always denied knowingly taking roxadustat, said the positive result came as the biggest shock of her life when her provisional suspension was announced in October 2022. She said she had never heard of roxadustat until then. In her statement presented to the independent tribunal, Halep said the keto MCT supplement had been recommended by her physiotherapist Candice Gohier to help with nasal problems. She described how she checked with Gohier and coach Patrick Muratoglu that keto MCT was safe to use, with both of them agreeing it was after checking the supplement's listed ingredients. Gohier got the supplement on the advice of Frederic Lefebvre, the director of physical preparation at Muratoglu's academy. Halep said she started using keto MCT in the middle of August 2022 and used it for 5 days between 23 and the 28th of August, one day before the US Open, where she suffered an unexpected first-round exit. However, Halep did not disclose the keto MCT supplement on her doping control form for the urine sample that tested positive on the 29th of August, and she also did not mention it in an interview with the ITIA on the 26th of October. At June's hearing, Halep said she had forgotten about it on both occasions. As we conclude this story, many questions remain unanswered. Was Simona Halep truly a victim of contaminated supplements? Or was there more to the story than met the eye? Did the tennis world rush to judgment, or did the evidence reveal a deeper truth? Simona Halep's journey through the turmoil of a doping scandal serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of professional sports. It's a tale of highs and lows. Sometimes tennis is not just about records broken and dreams realized, but destinies thwarted and reputations shattered. In the end, Simona Halep remains determined to clear her name and reclaim her place among the tennis greats. Her story is one of resilience and unwavering spirit, a testament to the indomitable human will. As we part ways with this gripping narrative, we can't help but wonder what lies ahead for this remarkable athlete. The truth behind Simona Halep's 4-year drug ban may forever be shrouded in mystery, but one thing is certain: her journey is far from over. Thank you for joining us here at Forehand Frenzy on this roller coaster ride through the truth behind Simona Halep's 4-year drug ban. In the world of sports, as in life, the pursuit of truth and justice continues, and only time will reveal the full story.